Welcome back to Sweet Beat TV. I'm your host, Sienna Leone, and today I'm excited to say I am joined by the great actress, Madison Iseman. Hi, Madison.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for having me. Like we were saying, I love your new hairdo. You definitely rock this.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a quarantine COVID cut, kind of spur of the moment, but I'm very glad I did it. I've always wanted to, literally since I was little this time.
Hey, you're rocking it, that's for sure. Let's dive in here and let's talk about your two big brand new movies. The first is Nocturne and then Clouds, which you were talking about, streams on Disney Plus October 16th. So kind of back-to-back movie premieres here for you.
No, it's been busy. I feel really grateful though. You know, it's just been a weird year.
Yeah,
so
that's for sure.
Nice to be busy. And, you know, hopefully things will continually get busier and stay busy. But you're just happy to be healthy and have something to look forward to and to work on.
Absolutely. Now, let's dive in and talk about Nocturne first. Tell us a little bit about this Blumhouse film and the character you play in this movie.
Yeah, so Nocturne is about a young pianist, Juliet, who discovers a dead girl's mysterious journal that's filled with all of these creepy, demonic diagrams that as she kind of studies and takes it in, it pushes her to just do like the worst possible things and eventually overtake her sister at their prestigious art school. It's a really dark one. I play Vivian, who is Juliet's twin sister, with Sydney Sweenie, who's also just absolutely fantastic. It's a fun one. I've always really loved dark films, and this one is centered around the arts, and we play piano, which was exciting for us, just because it was a new skill set that neither of us have really done before. We actually had to take piano lessons, like to learn hand choreography as far as where we put our hands and what we do with them. So like, it was just a very interesting experience. I had never done before, but it was a lot of fun.
Now, talking about starring alongside Euphoria star Sydney Sweenie, now, did you guys know each other prior to this film, or did you guys meet through this film?
We actually went to high school together.
No way!
We knew each other for years, and you know how this business goes. Like,
everyone knows everyone, I feel, for sure.
We've been in every single casting office together. We see each other just here and there, so the fact that we actually got to work together is just such a treat. You really never get to do that with people that are similar type, I guess you'd say. So we had our chemistry read together, and as soon as I saw her sitting in the waiting room, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. It's also great when you're friends, because obviously it's a very dark role. We scream at each other a lot. We say really nasty things to each other. So it was really nice having that base chemistry of just like our friendship throughout the years.
Totally. Now, kind of talking about, you know, you do play a darker role in this film, and comparing it to Clouds, you kind of have to channel more of your emotions in this film, as it's a very emotional and very raw film. How do you think, you know, prepping for these films, do you think getting into that dark place and getting into that emotional place, do you go into the same place, or is it kind of different prep for both?
They're actually extremely different. That's a very good question. No one's asked me that. You know, for me, anything that's super scary and psychological, it's not super real. It's very much, we're in these fantasy worlds with like, I mean, I guess technically it could happen depending on how much you believe in the paranormal and that whole world. That's a whole nother story. But
that's another interview.
That's another one. Yeah, so for me to tap into the scary side, I've just always loved scary movies since I was a little girl, and it's always been kind of in my blood. So for me, that's like fun. So we kind of just have a good time the whole time. We'll be in a scene and then we'll just kind of snap out of it and laugh, or it's just like very different. Not that Clouds wasn't a great experience, because it was just on a more serious note. Like, we were playing real people. We got the chance to meet Zach's family, and they opened their worlds up to us, and just emotionally being connected with them and everything Zach went through and his legacy, and trying to bring that to life. It was just a lot heavier, it was a lot more serious. So very different, both very rewarding, and I was very happy to be able to do them back and forth.
How crazy is that? You and Sydney going to high school together, now you guys are starring in this Blumhouse film together. Pretty surreal.
It's absolutely insane. It's funny too, actually, going off that. So Clouds, Finn Argus, who plays Zach, him and I have known each other since we were 15, 16.
No way. Did you guys go to high school together too?
We didn't go to high school together, but he was actually one of my very first friends when I first moved to LA. His group of kind of like included me in all of their stuff when I first moved out here.
Now, talking about Clouds, Madison, I had the pleasure of getting a sneak peek and watching the movie early, and oh my gosh, I have literally texted all my friends being like, you guys better watch this movie on Friday. Like, it was probably my favorite movie right now, and I'm honestly not just saying that because I'm talking to you. It was incredible. It's definitely a must watch for everyone. It's a movie that pulls on the heartstrings. It's so emotional. It's so raw. It's pretty incredible. So honestly, major congratulations to you. You played Amy so incredibly. So speaking about Amy, you know, Zach's love interest in the movie. This movie is obviously, like we've been talking about, based on a real story. So very emotional. So how do you think Amy challenged you?
Oh, I mean, in so many ways. I feel very lucky as far as, you know, dealing with the cancer world and everything in my personal life. I've never had too many experiences, at least in my immediate family, and I count my blessings every day for that. But I know a terrible thing that it just affects so many people around us, and especially even osteosarcoma, which I had no idea what it was literally before I got the script in my mail. And I'm very excited for everyone else to learn so much more about it, because it needs to be talked about and it needs to be known. And the whole point of this movie is to raise awareness and to raise money for Zach Sobiek's Osteosarcoma Fund, and just educate people on what it is. So I'm just so glad I was able to be a part of this. When I first read the script, I knew it was something I wanted to do. And then here we are. We just went to the premiere last night. My eyes are still, I
saw what you wore. You looked actually incredible. And I saw was it a drive-through premiere?
That was a socially distanced drive-in premiere. We all wore masks the whole time, and just watched it from the outside. I brought my brother with me, and he doesn't cry, and he cried the whole time. So I'm like that.
I mean, who wouldn't cry in this great film? So speaking about, you know, Zach's family and Amy, were they on set for most of the filming, or, you know, were they watching from afar, or, you know, the whole time?
They were pretty much there half and half. I loved when they were there, because it is their movie, it's their story. It was, in a weird way, just very comforting when they were there. It was like, okay, we're doing everything right. Yeah, I mean, they had a whole huge handprint in this thing from the very beginning. They helped out with the casting. I know they went through many drafts just to make sure everything was how they liked it. And yeah, it's interesting how much of a part they had in this, but I think that's what makes it so special. I think you can feel that.
You work very closely with Finn Argus and Sabrina Carpenter in this movie. I had the pleasure of speaking with them both actually last week, and they're both so lovely. So when on set, you know, do you think you guys all had each other to get into that more of an emotional state with these characters? And, you know, did that make you guys bond deeper?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love them both just so much. They're both so talented. You know, obviously I knew Finn from way back in the day, but Sabrina, I mean, I've looked up Sabrina my entire career too, so it was so awesome to be able to work together. She's just the kindest and honestly the most talented young woman in our business, in our age. In a movie like this, you really have to find a support system, and you have to be able to lift each other up, because you are going to these deeper places and you're being emotionally vulnerable and open. And so it was important to have friends to kind of lift you up, and I couldn't have asked for two better co-stars to do it with.
You know, Madison, what do you want people to take away from Clouds? What's the biggest thing for you that you want your viewers and fans to take away?
I mean, there's a list that goes on and on and on. But more than anything, I think it's just kind of what we experienced as well. We always talk about how there was a BC and AC, before Clouds and after Clouds. And just our lives have been completely changed. Our perspective has changed. I know it's different day to day, but every single day I try to put into my life just making your life count, making your days count. Life is short. Think positively, have gratitude. love and laugh and hug your family, and there's just so much to celebrate around you, and it's just really leaning into those moments and making them mean something.
Madison, you're such a pleasure, and honestly, congratulations on these 2 big projects. There's so much you've been working on, and I can't wait for everyone else to see these great movies. I mean, I loved it. I'm such a fan. So everyone at home, make sure you guys are checking out Nocturne on Amazon Prime, as well as checking out Clouds on Disney Plus October 16th. Also, be sure to be giving this video a big thumbs up and subscribing to Sweetie High down below. As always, I'm your host, Sienna Leone, and I will see you guys next video. Bye, guys.